white people were probably an invention for a particular political purpose.
Have you heard the saying, if it ain't white, it ain't right? Or, keep it white and tight. How did these sayings even come into existence? And how true are these phrases? To dig deeper into the Black epidemic, we have to examine the mind of the so-called Black people. We have to explore what they perceive to be the chief cause for all their issues, the so-called white man. Why are these people designated as white? For as long as most of you may remember, you've known these people as white. For most, this is the way it is. We are going to challenge this thought. It's time we set the record straight. It's time to tell the truth about white people in this chapter of Black Epidemic.
Something was bothering me about what I had read in my research, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I realized, wait a minute, white people weren't there. Like that label, it did not exist in these early laws of the 1600s.
This is white. This towel is white. If white people look like this, they get dead. No human being can exist as a white person. That is colonial indoctrination. There is no white people in nature.
Are so-called white people literally white? Is there some hidden meaning behind the term white? And if so, are so-called white people even aware of its effects? Steve Biko was a South African activist. Historians credit Steve Biko for popularizing the phrase, "Black is beautiful." Steve Biko's character in Cry Freedom, played by Denzel Washington, exposes a great secret about so-called black and white identity.
But why do you use a phrase like black is beautiful?
Because black is commonly associated with negatives. The black market, the black sheep of the family, anything which is supposed to be bad.
Then why do you use the word? Why call yourselves black? I mean, you people are more brown than black.
Why do you call yourselves white? You people are more pink than white.
Precisely.
The basis of this scene is from an actual conversation between Steve Biko and Judge Boshoff in 1976. Here lies the logical common sense approach to white identity. The scene teaches us two quick and simple lessons. We'll address the first lesson now and the second lesson later on. The first lesson is this: the idea that a person is white contradicts science and common sense. Recall the black skin test performed in the previous chapters. Apply the same test for so-called white people. For the sake of time, we can confidently say that everyone fails the white skin test. Like the black skin test, although a few may come close, no one is scientifically white or black. To say so is a contradiction to reality. These contradictions stem from the same seed discussed in the previous chapter. This myth also grows in your mind as truth. The myth is this: a person is white because their skin is white. Indeed, this is a horrible myth, a myth we're going to completely elaborate on right now. First, we go to Detroit, Michigan, 1978.
I came to the US in 1978 and I became US citizen in 1985. When I became a US resident, I was told by the Immigration and Naturalization that I am white. And I told them that I'm black and they said, no, in this country you are white. All Arabs in this country, all Arab immigrants are white. I rejected my white classification publicly for the first time in 1987, in February, as a panelist in a function sponsored by the Association of the Study of Black Life and History in Detroit. I said that that I belong to two minority groups. I am Arab American and Black American, and I am racially Black and ethnically Egyptian. A white coworker came to me and told me right after the function that he met with the superintendent, and if I don't keep my mouth shut, my educational career is over. He said, you have nothing to do with these people, you have a history and a culture. These people came from the jungle, you have nothing to do with them.
Directive number 15 of the U.S. Office of Management and Budget, also known as OMB, sets racial classification for all federal record keeping. The OMB adopted these set of guidelines in 1977. 1 year before Mustafa arrived in America. OMB standards on race and ethnicity define white as the following. White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, North Africa, or the Middle East. Being from Egypt, Mustafa falls under the legal classification of white. This example alone proves skin color is no indication of being white. Washington Post states, he said that even though he is from Egypt, his ancestry is from the ancient Black Kingdom of Nubia, now part of modern Egypt and Sudan. Hefney said, his hair is kinkier, his complexion darker, and his features more African than blacks such as Detroit Mayor Dennis Archer and retired General Colin Powell. I was born and raised in Africa, and they were not, said Hefney, a 46-year-old naturalized U.S. citizen. And yet they are classified as black, and I am classified as white. For those using the keys we are presenting, Mustafa's scenario becomes crystal clear. The issues aren't the legality of white and black identity and its correlation with skin color. The issue is the myth implanted in his mind and the mind of many others. The myth that a person is white because their skin is white, and you are black because your skin is black. According to the griot, Hefney, who is currently unemployed and gets help from his family, says that he lost 5 jobs because of his battle to be classified as a black man. He filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government in 1997 to be classified as a black man, but the case was dismissed.
Thousands of Egyptian Nubians will file a class action lawsuit against the U.S. government before the presidential elections to have the racial classification changed from whites to blacks. My name is Dr. Mustafa Hefney. I am a black man, but I'm classified as white by the U.S. government according to Directive number 15 of the Office of Management and Budget. I am an Egyptian Nubian and a naturalized U.S. citizen. I am proud of being black, and I'm currently organizing thousands of Egyptian Nubians so that they would file a class action lawsuit against the U.S. government to have the racial classification changed from whites to blacks. I decided to go public and to take the issue to the United Nations.
White is not about complexion. This is impossible to comprehend if you're under the illusion that white refers to skin complexion. For one seeking the truth, this unearths a new world of revelations and understandings. This is a key to the ongoing tragedy of the black epidemic. Without knowing, our people debase themselves by taking on the black mark. Over the past century, this issue has grown to global proportions. But something even more alarming is going on. Most people are unaware of the power given to the so-called white people by the simple act of identifying them as white. A power that not only has legal implications, but also divine implications. Let's go deeper into this topic in the next chapter of Black Epidemic. Peace and love.